Welcome to Moviemen with Greg and Mr. B. I am your host, Greg. Sitting across from me is...
Mr. B.
How are you doing, Mr. B?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, buddy?
I'm pretty good. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
October 31st, the night of evil in some people's eyes, the night of scare.
Happy Hallows Eve, as some people put it. You've never heard that term?
No, I've heard it. It's just I can't believe how we're going on and on about Halloween.
Halloween's awesome.
Halloween is awesome. Did you celebrate?
Oh yes, I took my kids trick-or-treating. They got a huge pillowcase full of candy. Ooh. They probably hit up like at least 40 houses. It was pretty fun. It started raining a little bit, but to me that just kind of added to the fun a little bit.
Yeah.
But how did you do? Did you take your little boy out?
Yeah, my wife dressed up as Snow White.
Nice.
It was really cute. I was Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not surprised at all.
Oh, me either. You know what I am surprised about is that when I went to the Halloween store, it was like the first thing I saw.
Really?
And I just left my wife and my son and just sprinted straight to it.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. Yeah, it was amazing. And so that's what I was. My wife was Snow White, and then we dressed our son up as Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc.
You know what? People are gonna hate me for this. I have not seen
don't.
that movie.
Oh, gosh.
There's no way it could be better than Toy Story, man. There's just no way.
Oh, actually, I haven't even thought about those two movies in comparison, but...
Come on, Toy Story is Toy Story, bro. Come on now.
Monsters, Inc. is legendary, though.
More legendary than freaking Toy Story?
No, not...
All right. Come on. No. Woody, think about Woody. Buzz, come on. Oh, yeah, we're getting off track.
We're getting way off track. Anyways, happy Halloween episode, you guys. We have a very, very, very happy, exciting episode to talk about. As we said last week, we're going to have a very special Halloween episode, and the movie that we were going to discuss is 1978's Halloween, starring Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode.
Oh, yes. Also starring Donald Pleasence
as Dr. Sam.
And, last but not least, starring Tony Moran as Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be an actor who does play him. I guess I just don't even imagine him as an actor.
You got to give him credit for how good he did. He was very creepy, was he not?
Was he creepy or was the mask creepy?
I mean, the way that he walked and moved, you can't give all the credit to the mask. You know what I mean?
He's kind of stoic in a way, like a robot kind of that's walking.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to point out Donald Pleasence died in 1995. Rest in peace. He was a very good actor. He did very good in this movie.
Well, let's get into this movie. It was directed by John Carpenter, the famous John Carpenter.
The legendary
John Carpenter. It was also written by John Carpenter and a woman named Deborah Hill.
Correct, yes.
She's known for several different movies. I found interesting was that she's one of the writers of The World Trade Center that came out in 2006.
Really? Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I did not know. Dude, I did not think that you were going to surprise me with a piece of information like that. That's awesome.
And also, The Fog, 2005.
Is that the one with Tom Welling?
Dude, you're going to rack my brain here. Okay, because these idiots who named these movies named one The Fog and the other one The Mist. And I can't freaking remember which one is which.
Here, I'll help you out. The Mist is the good one. The Fog is the one that I didn't bother to see because it's PG-13, I think.
Okay, well then which one is it? Okay, I remember one, they're like caught up in like a convenience store. That's the one I liked.
That's The Mist.
And that's not the one that she wrote.
The Mist is the one with the monsters coming out of the mist, and it's like gruesome and there's blood. That's The Mist, dude.
Oh, okay.
The Fog is the one with Tom Welling, who starred in Smallville.
Yeah.
And it's PG-13 and it's kind of lame.
It's like about like pirates from the fog.
I don't know. I never saw it.
Oh, I saw it and I thought it was horrible.
Yeah. I just knew I wouldn't like it. So yeah.
Okay, so let's get into Halloween. Three things. I want to say three things. One, our apologies. It is actually Halloween right now at around almost 10 o'clock at night when we're recording this. And everybody knows those annoying teenagers that stay out till like midnight ringing doorbells and stuff. So my studio is in my house. So if you hear doorbells or people making noise, outside of this podcast, my apologies for that.
It's actually in the garage. We're two very talented, passionate movie lovers starting our business in the garage, baby. And if you would like to fund us and give us a nice studio to work in with it, we're open to that, you know. So
You sure?
Oh, dude, I have no plans to ever stop doing this. You?
No. I love doing this.
Yeah.
So
I look forward to this every week.
Let's get into just to summarize what the movie Halloween is about. Basically, it says about 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield to kill again.
Haddonfield, is it an actual town, city?
You know, it's a movie town for sure. A real town?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know this. If you know this, listeners, audience, if you know the answer to this, is Haddonfield a real town? If you could leave that in the comments or message us, we'd really appreciate it.
Look it up. Do some homework.
I would like to share something about this movie.
Yeah.
I actually found out that John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the writers of the movie, they wrote Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, to be the virgin of the movie. If you watch the movie, you'll kind of realize that all of her friends have sex in the movie. And they didn't intentionally make her a virgin. That was just a coincidence. And that actually turned into a horror movie thing. Like the virgin always survives kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was not intentional. That was an accident. And I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and they also mentioned that in Scream, right? Jamie Kennedy?
Yes. Jamie Kennedy mentions that, yes.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What is your number one? No, I don't want to hear your favorite thing yet. Let's hear one of your favorite things about this movie.
Sure, I'd love to get into that. This is going to be our top 5 segment, and our top 5 segment is either our top 5 favorite scenes, our top 5 favorite things we love about the movie, so it could be whatever we want it to be. My top 5, I'm going to have to go with the music, and that's a change for me. Usually I talk about 5 scenes that I like, but this movie captures a lot of the fear of this movie through the music. And one thing I noticed as I was watching this was that they use a lot, and I mean a lot, of high-pitched type music and noises in this movie.
Yes.
Like, like really, really, really high pitch when someone gets scared or killed or something, you know, important is going on. It's high pitch. It's not so much like, you know, I think we mentioned in Scream, they use that howling a lot to scare you.
Yes.
You know, but in this movie, it's a lot of high pitched, and I appreciate that. It's something different that you don't hear in a lot of other movies.
I could not agree more. The music in this movie is so memorable. Everybody knows the classic. That's the most, wouldn't you agree that's the most classic horror movie music ever?
I'm going to agree, but also at the same time debate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think is up there with it?
Do you have a guess of what I'm about to say?
Let me think for a second here. There's a couple movies that come to mind. There's a couple movies that come to mind immediately. Honestly, the movie that really comes to mind for me is my favorite scary movie, which I covered in the last episode. I Know What You Did Last Summer, but
No.
You're probably not thinking of that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm drawing a blank. So what is it?
The Exorcist.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Halloween and The Exorcist, you know, the songs that are coincided with that movie,
Yes.
I think are the most iconic horror sounds.
I definitely agree, but one has to be better than the other. So which one do you think is superior? Honestly, come
Exorcist.
on. Honestly, you think The Exorcist?
Go back and listen to it.
I've listened to it recently.
Then,
On my YouTube channel, I've been messing around with different songs, different tunes, different music. And I listened to The Exorcist just a couple days ago, actually. And it's very good. But it's not, in my opinion, quite as good as Halloween. That's just my opinion.
Well, listeners, if you have an opinion about
Yes.
this, definitely hit us up on one of our social media accounts and let us know what you think is scarier, the Halloween theme or the Exorcist theme.
Dude, I have to agree with you, though. They're like hand in hand. They're
Hand in hand.
real freaking close.
There's nothing else in any horror movie.
Oh, yeah. Nothing comes close.
Uh-uh.
Except for I Know What You Did Last Summer, in my opinion. But they're actually, I Know What You Did Last Summer, I don't want to talk about that movie at all. We already did.
Yeah.
But that movie doesn't actually have, like, a theme song like these two do.
Right.
So, let's move on.
Sure.
I want to share one of my favorite things about the movie, if I may. And it's one of my top five favorite things about the movie. Number 5 is the setting of the movie. The Haddonfield. We already shared we're not quite sure if Haddonfield is a real place. Please let us know. But I love the town of Haddonfield. At one point, it shows a school. It shows the kids walking around during the day. And it shows the teenagers just being teenagers. And it's Halloween. Mm-hmm. And they just did a fantastic job of capturing the complete perception of Halloween. You know, it's not just at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the day part of it that's leading up to the legendary night part where you have trick or treat.
Right, that you're talking about. You have the brown and orange leaves covering the streets.
Exactly.
You got the pumpkins, the hay bales, the scarecrows.
Yes.
You have all that day stuff.
Masterfully done. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me hear another one from you.
Okay, I want to say my number 4. Again, this is not even a scene. That's what I like about this movie. I really like the camera angles that they use in this movie.
Dude, I agree. I totally agree. That's actually something I wrote too.
Yeah, because
it's really weird, huh? They'd use different creepy angles. It almost seems like some of the girls, like when they're walking home from school or whatever, it seems like they're being followed because of the camera angles or some... In my opinion, at least, doesn't it kind of seem like that to you? Like they're just really weird, obscure camera angles.
They're really creative because even in the very first scene of the movie, the opening, it's when Michael Myers, that's the whole he kills his sister.
Yes.
And stuff. But it's through the eyes of him wearing the mask.
Oh, yes.
And
my God.
Shows him spying on them and this and that. And it's very creative.
I forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
Very creative.
Yes, absolutely. I want to share another something about this movie that most people probably, I'm assuming, don't really know, is that this movie was actually a book first, written by Curtis Richards, and the book is very, very different from the film. It gives much more emphasis and story on Michael Myers and his background, his backstory, and his rage, and just how crazy he really is. Mm-hmm. And the book is actually extremely rare. If you can get your hands on the book Halloween by Curtis Richards, hang on to that copy. I found out you can't really find that book. Well, I didn't really honestly look that hard for it, but I found out that it is a rare book indeed. Yeah.
I want to hear your number 3.
Okay. I will I think it's my number 4, actually. My number 4.
Oh, my bad.
My number 4 is actually, I kind of already said it, is the day and night of the movie, just the way that it shows the day part of Halloween. I really appreciate that when I watch the movie. No other movie that I can think of right now offhand shows the day part of the scary. You know what I mean? It seems like John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, they knew. God, I wish that I could talk to them in person right now and just tell them, like, you did such a good job. You could have started the movie at night, and it probably still would have been good. But you let it up. You started with the girls leaving school. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just daytime, and I think it even shows, like, Michael Myers is following a couple of the girls, or he's following Laurie Strode because it's his little sister. Spoiler alert. But anyway, it's just really good. I really enjoy, like, the movie's not too scary at the beginning, like the first, 30%, 40%, because it's daytime, and eventually it's going to turn into legit Halloween at nighttime, and it's going to get a lot better. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, though, even though the daytime is where you feel safer, there is also this part, though, where the girls are walking, and they notice across the street Michael Myers with his mask, and he's just standing in the open. Yeah. And he's just staring at them. Yeah. And they're like, what?
Dude, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Laurie see him at one point? And she's like...
Yeah, they all see him.
What the hell? Yeah, they all do.
And
that's
it just
right.
freaks him out. But they keep going. And
he walks behind a bush, and they keep walking, and they go behind the bush, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot about that.
It's a good scene. Yeah. And again, that camera angles. The way the camera is shot, it's interesting. I really liked it.
Yes.
My number 3. This time it is a scene. It's the opening scene, as I said, with Michael Myers, where he kills his sister.
Yes, totally gruesome.
He's just a sick little freak.
Yeah.
He really is. They don't capture, in my opinion, how sick of a little, kid he is in this movie, as well as they did in the remake.
The Rob Zombie remake.
Yeah, the Rob Zombie remake. They really capture his little kid psyche
They
a
did.
lot better.
Yes, they did.
But I did like the opening scene because I liked the way it's shot through his eyes. You don't see him, you just see the point of view. And I also will say that this acting in the opening scene on the boyfriend who's there, low quality. It's not very good. At one point he's like, "Let's go upstairs, babe." And she's like, "Yeah." And it's kind of like, yeah.
Is it low quality, or is that just how people talked in the 70s, you know?
No, it's not like hippie where it's like, "Hey, bro, let's go here, bro." No, it's like, "Hey, let's go upstairs."
I mean, yes,
Yeah,
you're
bad.
probably right. Honestly, I think you've seen the movie more recently than me. But I want to also point out, I do recall Jamie Lee Curtis's acting in this movie very well. And she had some little questionable acting scenes where, you know what I mean? She's like crying, you know what I mean? I honestly think that this movie is just a classic horror movie, but not based off the acting. You know what I mean?
It's based completely, in my opinion, off Michael Myers.
You think so?
He's what makes it okay. I mean, obviously the music adds a lot of
No, I think you're
tension.
right. I think it's definitely mostly Michael Myers, but it's also the music and the setting. I think those three things. I don't think the acting really has much to do with it.
And what's great is that, you know, we talked about Scream. In Scream, we have Ghostface. What's your favorite scary movie?
Yep.
In Child's Play, we have Chucky. Hey, Andy. You know, and like he's intense. And then in Signs, you have like the alien. And I Know What You Did Last Summer, you have the hook guy and stuff. But in this movie, Michael Myers doesn't say one word. He's he's a silent big boogeyman with a knife.
Yep.
And that's what makes it scary. Is you don't know if he's trying to be scary.
I never actually even. That never even really occurred to me, to be honest with you. I never realized that this movie is more successful and legendary than all of the movies that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And he never says a word.
That's what makes it intense.
And he doesn't need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's a big dude.
Yeah.
That also has a lot to do with it. You just see a big guy sometimes and you're like, oh.
And let's not forget that he's somehow like invincible. Like
yeah, Halloween 12,000.
Yeah.
No, he this also is Jamie Lee Curtis's big break. This is the movie that
made her career. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little fun fact. Yeah, so that was my number 3. So what is your number 3?
My number 3 is the camera work.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to we've already talked about this. I don't want to just continue saying the same things, but if you take our word for it and go back and watch this movie, Halloween 1978, you'll notice that they do a bunch of different camera angles, and that's what we're talking about. It's just really creative. It really adds to the eeriness and creepiness of the movie. That's really it. I mean, can you say anything else about it?
Not any more than we already have said about it, but it really does. When you have somebody who's directing really well and who is creative, it can change a movie from a boring, dull, flat movie to dimensions, to crazy angles, to, you know, popping out from here. And then if they can really, really do good with their camera work, they can keep your eyes focused on a ladybug on the ground while somebody is getting murdered 10 feet above that ladybug.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll keep your eyes on that ladybug from the way they did it.
Yes.
And if they can nail that, they can just make you feel however they want to make you feel during a movie, during any type of scene. So, yeah, I agree. That's why that was my number 4 and your number 3. So, my number 2 is actually a tie. I couldn't make my mind up on what my number 2 is because one of my choices is a scene, and then my other choice is a thing about the movie. So I'll just tell you both.
Okay.
And you can tell me what I probably should choose. Okay. So
I'll give my opinion.
Yeah, give me your opinion. The closet scene towards the end of the movie.
Yes.
And there's a scene where basically Jamie Lee Curtis is getting attacked by Michael Myers, and she's trying to fight him off and stuff. And she gets upstairs, and she ends up hiding in this closet. And it's one of those closets that's like made out of wood, and it has like those little like slits in the door. So it's pure darkness in the closet, but the outside light is shining in.
Yes.
And then so like on the person's face in the closet, you see like the light lines across their face. I don't know. I always thought that was like creepy. So she can like see out of the little slots.
Yes, I agree.
Right? And then like
I remember that scene.
And then Michael Myers, he like punches through it like, and he like gets in there and he's attacking her and she's screaming and stuff. And the reason why I like that scene so much is because I'm really, really over the whole cliche of when somebody goes into a closet and they're sitting there hiding, and they're like holding their breath and have their hands over their mouth, and they're looking out and they see the killer or whoever's in their like house.
Right.
And you see them like looking around, and then they kind of like walk out of the room, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's like safe to go out. Like, first of all, if it was me, I'd stay in that closet for like an hour or two after I stopped seeing them, just to make sure. And two, it just makes the bad guy look so dumb. Yep. When they don't check the closet. Yeah. And you get away with it. It just like, that'd be the first place I looked. Closet, under the bed, behind the door.
All the places it's possible that you could hide, and then you would leave the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I really like that scene because it doesn't make Michael Myers look like an idiot. It makes him look like powerful because he doesn't just open it and go, gotcha. Like he punches through.
Right, yeah.
He breaks through. She's like, oh my God, screaming.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's Michael Myers, so how realistic, but it's kind of realistic.
I was just going to say it's realistic.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and it's intense, and then since you expect him not to break through, when he actually does break through, it really, like, jump scare, it really scares you. So that was my first choice for number 2, but then I started thinking about the Michael Myers mask. And I think the Michael Myers mask in itself deserves its own spot.
Oh, yes. It's freaking dude.
Do you want to hear a very interesting fact about the mask?
Yes, please.
It was a William Shatner mask.
What?
And they cut out the eyeballs and messed up the hair.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
100%.
A William Shatner? What?
Yeah. Like, you know how they make, like, Obama masks and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. They had a William Shatner mask, and they cut out the eyeballs.
No way.
Yeah. It like makes it way less scary when you look at it.
I mean, I don't for a second think you're lying to me, but that sounds very unbelievable. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah.
And find out all the details. Are you serious? You know that for sure.
Look it up.
That's crazy. What?
William Shatner.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that a crazy fact though? William Shatner.
That's so surprising. I would have never thought that. Like, what? I almost don't even believe you because that's so silly and just unbelievable. But I know you're not lying to me, so that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, and the reason why I like that mask so much is because I like that it's white. I don't know, like. It's not like, you know, red with blood and this and that. Like, I really like, and that's also why I really like the ghost face mask from Scream.
Right.
I like just the white ghostly look of it. And then it has like the frizzled brown hair at the top. And it's just like a stoic looking face.
Yes.
And that mask is one of the most iconic masks of all time.
I completely agree. However, I want the audience to know that we actually, in our little our studio setup right now, we have a Scream ghost face mask hanging on the wall. And I'm looking at it right now, and I've never liked another mask as much as I like that mask. It's my favorite mask. My favorite horror movie mask. My favorite. I went to a Halloween party a couple days ago, and you know what I wore to the Halloween party?
What?
The ghost face mask, and that was it.
Really?
Like, yes, dude. I have the same mask that's hanging on the wall right there, and I just love that mask so much. But I do agree with you that the Michael Myers mask is legendary and iconic, and yes, I agree. I like how it's plain, but at the same time not. It does exactly what it needs to do. It's eerie. You know what I mean? It's perfect.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check to make sure I was right, because I didn't want to throw out an informational fact that it was a William Shatner mask if I was wrong and just make me look totally stupid. So yeah, I looked it up and I am not wrong.
Really?
Yeah. The mask for Michael Myers was only described as having the pale, neutral faces of a man. And for the movie, the design was boiled down to two options. Both were cheap latex masks painted white and bought for under $2 a piece at local toy stores by production designer Tommy Lee Wallace. One was a replica mask of a clown character called Weary Willie, popularized by actor Emmett Kelly, and the other was a stretched-out Captain Kirk mask from Star Trek. Carpenter chose the whitewashed Kirk mask because of its eerie blank stare that fit perfectly with the Myers character.
That's crazy. I mean, you would guess that William Shatner knows this fact, but wouldn't it be awesome to be able to talk to William Shatner and tell him this and he didn't know this? Be like, I'm going to blow your mind right now. You know that movie Halloween?
Yeah.
You've probably been so busy in your career that nobody's ever come up to you and told you this. Maybe they have, but maybe they haven't. Maybe William Shatner has no idea that the mask from Halloween is his fucking face.
And he's not getting paid a dime.
Yeah.
Not like he needs it, but,
Right.
you know, well, what if you had went up to him and said, hey, Mr. Shatner, did you know in that movie Halloween Ball? And he's like, Halloween? And you're like, yeah, that movie with Michael Myers. He's like, I know Michael Myers, but I don't know the movie Halloween. I'd be like, how do you not know it? And he's like, oh, you mean the babysitter murders? And I'd be like, no, I mean Halloween. He goes, oh, did you know the original title of that movie wasn't actually Halloween? And I'd say, are you serious? And he'd say, go look it up. And I'd say, okay. And I'd look it up, and I'd see the number one fact about this movie is that the original title of the movie was not Halloween. It was actually intended to be called the movie The Babysitter Murders.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, talk about a great last-minute change. Whatever made them change that?
It was changed because it was based so specifically around Halloween that they just changed it to Halloween.
Dude, talk about a great freaking decision.
Yeah.
I mean, what other movie do you watch on Halloween? You know, I mean, what other movie must you watch on Halloween? You know what I mean? Like, It's the Halloween movie. It's called Halloween, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
But that actually kind of reminds me of my number 2.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is I love the characters in the movie. I love how it goes back and forth between all of them. It shows all of them during the day. I've already covered that. It shows them during different things that they're doing during the day. They're watching movies. They're doing all kinds of things that everybody does on Halloween. Scary movie marathons. They're going on dates. They're getting all hammered. You know, it's really good. Also, I love how it just goes back and forth. And Michael Myers somehow like bounces back and forth between house and house. And he like kills one girl and then goes to the other one. Annie. And what's the other one? The blonde. Annie's the brunette. I know Annie is the brunette. What's the blonde girl? And she actually
the one who gets naked?
Yeah, it shows some nudity.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I forget her name. If you know her name, please, audience, let us know in the comments or message us. We'd appreciate it. But yes, you know what I'm saying. Like, it goes back and forth between all the characters. It shows what they've got going on, and it just seems realistic. That's what teenagers are doing. You know what I mean, on Halloween.
But what's Jamie Lee Curtis doing?
She's babysitting.
2 little runts.
Tommy and...
Tommy yet?
No. I'm sorry. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember the little girl's name.
I need a break for a second, and I need to like go on to something completely off topic.
Really?
Speaking of a boy and a girl.
Oh, yes. Let's hear. Okay, go ahead. Actually, would you mind if I said it? Would you mind?
I don't care.
Okay. I know exactly where he's going with this. My co-host Greg just found out 24 hours ago, about like 36 hours ago,
about 2:40 yesterday,
that he is having a baby girl.
My beautiful baby.
His lovely wife is pregnant, and she's having a girl, and they already have a baby boy. So they're getting the best of both worlds, and I'm insanely jealous. But once again, congratulations! I'm so happy for you. I cannot wait to meet your baby girl. She's gonna be one of the most magnificent people that have ever walked this planet. I know it. Like, I just know you, and I know it. Like, you don't even know what to say, do you?
No, because I thought it was gonna be a boy, but it's not.
Oh, come on! You already got a boy.
I know, but I thought it was... I got brainwashed. My wife was like, it's a boy, and then like the doctor before the ultrasound was like, oh, the heartbeat's 140. You know what that means? It's going to be a boy. And I was like, I want a boy, but like, man, like, you know, like I kind of want the surprise to be there. And it didn't feel like a surprise. And then when we went in there, they were doing the ultrasound, and, you know, I don't know how to read an ultrasound, but the technician was like, okay, do you guys want to take a guess? What do you think it is? And I was looking at it, and I was like, boy? And she goes, no, you're having a little girl.
Oh, man.
And I was like, whoa, what? Like, and I just kind of, my wife and I got choked up. I cried a little bit, and she cried a little bit. It was very intimate, lovely moment. And
Dude, you can make
happy.
fun of me. Like, anybody that's listening can make fun of me all you want. That's beautiful. Like, that would have made me cry just to see you two cry. Like,
It was cool.
I'm so jealous. I want a baby girl so bad. My fiance and I are we're getting married next year. We're trying to have a baby at the same time. I'm very happy for you.
Thanks.
But let's get back to the horror movie now.
I just had to say that. I was actually going to mention that when we started, but I forgot until we said a boy and a girl, and it just sparked my memory.
All right. So let's hear. You're on your number one now. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm on my number one.
Let's hear it.
You ready for it?
Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
I know you're gonna surprise me. What is it? Come on, don't leave me hanging.
The reason why I asked you what Jamie Lee Curtis is doing and she's babysitting a boy and a girl is because all her friends are out with their boyfriends or getting drunk or doing whatever they're doing, and she's at home babysitting
Right.
these two kids, and they're watching the horror movies together, and these kids are being, scaredy cats, and she's like, oh, you're a scaredy cat, whatnot.
Yeah.
And she's off doing something. I think she's on the phone or doing something, I don't know. And
She's being a good friend to her slutty freaking best friends that are
let's
like,
get drunk and just forget them kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. and but anyways, and so Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of like, shut up, and to these kids and stuff, and she's like, oh, it's the boogeyman. And
oh yeah,
right?
I remember that.
But my number one scene, now I'm going to get into my number one. My number one scene happens to be right after Michael Myers kills Annie.
Okay.
By the way, Annie is played by Nancy Keys, if you care to look that up.
I did not care as much as you, but thank you for telling me.
I don't care at all. I just wanted to look that up. And he kills her, and what he does is he has to take her body from like the backyard or something and take her to the front of the house. For some reason, at this exact moment in time, the boy and the girl, Tommy and Tommyette,
see him doing that.
they look outside the window.
Oh my
across the
God,
street,
I forgot about this.
and they see him carrying her dead body.
And they say it's the boogeyman.
And yeah, they're freaking out.
Right.
And the camera just pans from like their point of view, just looking across the street, and it's looking at the house, and all you see is like Michael Myers come out of the shadows holding a girl who's kind of laying back in his arms because she's dead.
Right.
And he's just in the open.
Yeah.
He's just walking from the side of the house, and he walks up to the front of the house, and he kind of kicks in the front door and walks in with the girl, and it's quiet and it's scary as heck, man.
Yeah,
And
dude. Oh my God, you're so right. I forgot about that scene.
that's my favorite scene. Because, like, if you were not even just a kid, but, like, I'm 20, almost 27, and I'm sitting here, and I'm just looking out my window, and I see someone a giant guy in a mask carrying a body like that at nighttime, and the only light that's lighting them up is the porch light.
Yeah.
And I see that, I'd be pooping.
That would be a game changer. That would be heart-stoppingly terrifying. And if you see it when you're... How old were they in the movie? What, like freaking 8 years old? 9 years old?
Yeah, 8 to 10.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievably
And on top of that, their babysitter's like, the boogeyman's gonna get you.
Yeah.
And then they see the quote-unquote boogeyman.
Yeah.
And they're like, the boogeyman. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis is like, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No one believes these kids ever in movies. And I really just wanted to...
Yeah, dude, fantastic point. I forgot about that scene. My favorite part of the movie is honestly the ending scene when all the trick-or-treaters are gone. And Laurie Strode is being chased by Michael Myers, and the kids are no longer in the picture.
Yeah.
And she stabs him in the neck with like a
Coat hanger.
a coat hanger,
An
but she
iron
also,
coat hanger.
doesn't she
right?
stab him with a sewing needle too, or something like that, behind the couch, or something like that?
Like at the end?
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
lays,
yeah.
he's like, and she's doing her, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, her kind of lame acting, crying in the hallway, and it shows him sit up.
From
in
a
the-
laying position.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
a laying position in the background.
Kind of like Frankenstein, but if his arms weren't out in front of
Right.
him. He just
And
sits up.
the music, it's like dun
Dun, dun,
dun. Yeah, it's like really intense. That's my favorite scene, that exact scene. When she's crying and she thinks that it's over for some reason, not calling the police, running outside, and freaking in real life, you'd be like, oh my God, somebody fucking help me. She's just sitting in the hallway crying, which is not very realistic. But anyway, he like sits up. The way he sits up, you're just like, oh my God, this is not over. Like he's not dead. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I think the music is like dun 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 dun. It's just really intense, and you're just like, oh my God, freaking turn around. Like, it's so freaking scary. Oh man, that whole scene gets to me so much. And I think at one point she even like falls down the stairs and gets hella messed up, and it's just like, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know what? That's my number one part of the movie that I always remember when I think of the movie. But now that I'm actually thinking of the movie, I think I kind of want to change it. I think I kind of want to say, honestly...
Calling an audible, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I kind of want to say that my favorite thing about the movie, now that I really think about the movie as a whole, is the setting and the daytime part of it, where it's just leading up to it, and you just know it, that it's going to lead up to nighttime Halloween, and it's going to be different and more scary. And it's just so eerie when the girls are walking home from school and he's like stalking them. It's just so creepy. It's my favorite part of the movie. So I would like to change that, but so I guess I have a 6, a top 6. Oh, you already shared your number 1, right?
Yeah, my number 1 is when the kids see the Michael Myers carrying the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my number 1. And don't feel bad about having a number 6, because to be honest, my number 2, I mean, come on. My number 2 is either talking about The Mask or talking about the closet scene.
The closet scene,
The closet scene or The Mask. So technically, that's the number 6. And we can go off script a little bit and have a number 6.
I mean, yeah.
It's our dang podcast.
I don't think viewers are going to mind too much. But just one more thing. I just want to give credit to the people that really deserve it. John Carpenter, number 1. Deborah Hill, you guys wrote a fantastic movie. I want to be honest, I wasn't able to watch it today. This year on Halloween, I had a lot to do today. I had to work.
Me too.
I have kids. Yeah. But honestly, I regret. I really wish that I had the chance to just sit down and drink a few beers and watch this movie, and I wasn't able to. But I was, in the last few years or so. I really enjoy it. Next year, I think I'm going to make a point to watch this movie. It's a classic. And you know what? If I'm going to be honest right now, I like Rob Zombie. I like his music. I like his movies. They're really gruesome. I like gore. I mean, if you've checked out my YouTube channel, Being Scared, you know that I'm really into horror stuff. But his movie, Halloween, the remake, it doesn't hold a candle to this. It's just not even close.
No.
It's good in its own way, but it's a classic. Definitely not.
And I was going to bring up that movie, the reboot, and I do want to talk about that a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to talk about the comparison from that movie to this movie, because like I was saying, in the opening scene of 1978's movie, it is through the eyes of Michael Myers, and he's wearing the mask, and it's just kind of him running around the house until he eventually murders. In this movie, it really does take some time to show kind of like a backstory on Michael Myers as him as a kid.
It does, yes.
And you see him murder. I remember there's a scene where you see him murdering like one of his pets, like a guinea pig or something, in the sink, and there's blood everywhere, and he like has a scalpel.
Yes.
And he like just killed it, and that's the very opening of the movie. And it shows him actually like beat a kid down to death before you even get to Halloween.
The bully
who's like, your mom's a slut, and he like beats him down with a branch and murders him. So comparison. No, you're right. Halloween, the reboot, it just doesn't hold a candle to the first 1978 movie.
I totally agree.
But I appreciate it for what it was as a reboot. And it's definitely gorier. It's definitely more of like a money grabbing type of reboot, where it's like you got the huge 6.5 foot 250-pound buff Michael Myers, as opposed to just like a creepy big guy. It's like he's got to be overbearingly
just
huge,
like ridiculously powerful and huge.
Yeah. And then it's also got the annoying teenage girls in the movie.
Yes.
I don't like teenage girl acting in that time period.
I'm so glad you said that, man. I was waiting for you I mean, I wasn't waiting for you to be done, but when you were done, I was going to mention that the main actress in this movie, her name is Scout Taylor Compton. The girl that plays Laurie Strode in the remake of Rob Zombie. Her acting is crap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's even worse in the sequel of the reboot.
Oh my God. I never even saw that, but I can imagine. I'll take your word for it. What the hell was Rob Zombie thinking? She's not a very good actress. Like, you're going up against Jamie Lee Curtis, and her acting was crap. It wasn't the worst I've ever seen. I'm not going to exaggerate, but watch that movie. It's not as good as it should be. You know what I mean? It's just not. And in these days, that movie was made in the last, 10 years?
Yeah.
It should be freaking A-list. It should be great. And you know what I mean?
It does have a good soundtrack. I'll admit that, though.
The movie?
Mm-hmm. And right after Michael Myers' The Kid version.
Well, of course. The movie was made by Rob Zombie. Of course it's got a good soundtrack.
Yeah, but it's not just like a hardcore metal soundtrack. I
know, but he's talented. He's got...
Yeah. No, but it's got a really good soundtrack to it. And right after Michael Myers, the kid, kills his family or whatever, he's sitting there on the sidewalk as the sirens are coming, ringing around. And it has that song, Love Hurts.
Oh, yes.
Love
okay.
them.
You're totally right. Yeah.
In your heart. Yeah.
Good point, man. God, good point. Yeah.
And it's like a very random song to have in the Halloween movie after he just murders people.
But it works.
But it works good. So yeah. I'll say that movie has its high points and it's got its low points.
Yeah. I just can't stand that main actress, man. Like Scout Taylor Compton, if you're by any chance ever listening to this, I'm sorry, but you need to, there's a reason why I haven't seen you in anything else. You know what I mean? Step up your acting ability.
And come hang out. If you're listening, I'm gonna tell you, come kick it.
Yeah, join our podcast. Maybe that'll boost your career.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, okay. So, I'm glad we got to talk a little bit about the reboot. It's not it's not horrible. I own it on DVD, and
I think we can just both agree that it's nothing compared to the original movie.
Right. And is there anything else you want to share about Halloween, the movie?
The movie? No.
Yeah, just anything else you like, anything sticks out to you?
No, I don't think so. What about you?
No.
Good.
No, I'm over talking about this movie. I do want to get into our rating part of the show, where I would like to ask you, what would you rate Halloween?
From a 1 to 5?
1978.
1978's Halloween, 1 to 5. I think I'd give it a 3. A good solid 3. Yeah. I think... Don't laugh at me.
If people could have saw your face, you just made... You were like, a 3, and then you like smiled, and you're like, a good solid 3.
I just feel real good about 3. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
It's gotta be a 3. You know what I mean? What are you gonna give it?
Okay, I'm gonna give it honestly a 2.5.
Oh, what? Come on, it's a classic. Come on.
Just because it's classic doesn't mean it's good. It's classic, but let me tell you what. When it comes to Christmas time, you got your classic Christmas movies, and you know how like one of the biggest Christmas movies is A Christmas Story.
Right.
I hate that movie.
What?
Not one part of it I like. I don't like it. It's
It's
stupid. It's old. It's racist.
Okay, well, you know
I
what?
can't stand that kid.
The last thing I want to do is debate my co-host here, and we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that because I love that movie. And
that's why we have a podcast where we share our opinions, because I don't like that movie, but everyone likes it.
Well, guess what season is coming up soon, buddy? Guess what movie we're gonna be reviewing, and we're gonna be debating the crap out of that movie.
Thanksgiving.
A Thanksgiving Story starring Will Ferrell.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
Dude, did we just come up with a screenplay idea?
Yeah.
I think we might have.
And Will Ferrell, if you're listening right now, call us, man.
Dude, yes.
No, but let me get into my rating again, though. I call it a 2.5 because, one, it's very old quality. When we're talking about Scream, that movie was 96. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Child's Play, that movie was 88. You know what I mean? This movie was 10 years before Child's Play, and Child's Play is a little dated.
Yeah.
So
And yet this movie still is better in my opinion, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you like it, and I hope that other people think it's just as good as you do. I think it's a good movie too, but I'm gonna be honest. 2.5. It's an old movie. I personally don't like the look of old style movies. Like, I like currency. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like when movies try to make something current and then it comes off cheesy.
Totally.
But I do like not seeing, when it's an 80s movie, you got the really, really frizzled hair that's really, really big. And you know what I mean? I don't like looking at that stuff. But just
imagine what people thought of this movie when they watched it in 1979. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, it's current.
It was mind-blowing. They probably were like, this is the best movie, the best horror movie ever made. And they did say that. You know what I mean? It was.
And it still holds its end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dude,
it's good.
Fantastic.
But I'd say it's an old movie, so that's a dock to me. And, I gotta be honest, dude. The acting, not very good.
I know.
I have to be honest. Like I said, I would originally have probably been like, dude, Halloween, classic, bro. 4.5, 5 stars, no doubt. It's classic. But now, to be honest, dude, the acting sucks.
Yeah.
And the main star of the movie doesn't even really act that good. She's got some scenes, groundbreaking scenes that made, this launched her career. But she's got a lot of scenes where she's like crying, like, weird. Like, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. My favorite scene in the movie when it shows Michael Myers sit up in the background. Her crying is crap. You know what I mean?
It's like not good.
It's not real. Yeah.
And then, like I said in the beginning, you have the boyfriend that's like, hey babe, let's go upstairs, babe, and it's like, not good, and it's not that good. So I gotta knock it down.
Well, I have to say, like, any person on this planet, even Roger Ebert, I don't respect his movie opinions as much as I do yours. So 2.5, like, I respect that.
I take that one.
Yeah.
I take it to the heart.
So let's, I want to share a little bit. I want to move past, it's October 31st. It's Halloween. We ended the month with the movie Halloween, and now we're done. The next movie, God, yes. I'm going to let you share the next movie. But before you do that, the next movie is not going to be a horror movie. I'm going to let my co-host Greg share it. But I want to get into a little bit of movie news before he talks about our next movie.
Are you ready for the movie news segment?
I'm ready for it. What I would like to share is a movie that I'm super excited about, and I am hoping that you have no clue that this movie is being made right now.
Magic
and it's coming
Mike
out.
3?
No, not at all. But damn.
I thought we would have the same movie.
Oh, I mean, Channing. I mean, come on now.
Channing Tatum.
No, dude. Do you have any clue that Step Brothers 2 is being made right now?
No. I didn't.
Step Brothers 2, starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, is going to be coming out in the next few years, hopefully sooner rather than later. And if I'm not mistaken, the movie's being shot in Rhode Island, which is awesome. That's a really awesome state. I've never been there. I've always wanted to visit. But anyway.
What's the capital?
No clue.
Providence.
Nice.
I don't know how I knew that.
But dude, how did you know that? What the freaking hell?
I don't know.
I don't really want to share what state we're really from. California. But
the sunny state, Sacramento.
But Step Brothers 2 is in development right now. I mean, if you don't know this, Step Brothers is my favorite comedy of all time, easy.
Hands down, mine too.
Okay. So, do you have any movie news?
No, but I do. But I want to go off of what you said for a second.
Okay.
I'd say I think it was about a year ago. I listen to this radio talk show when I get off work and I drive home. Mm-hmm. And they were saying, do you like Will Ferrell? Do you like John C. Reilly? Did you like Step Brothers? And the other co-host of that talk show is like, yeah, that's like the funniest movie I've ever seen. And they're like, how would you like to be an extra in that movie? And he was like, how? Right? And they're like, they're filming Step Brothers 2 here, Sacramento, California.
What?
And he's like, no way. And he goes, yep, you can go down to the this and that at this time and blah, 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 and have a chance to be an extra in Step Brothers 2. They're filming it down here. And
wait, when did you hear this?
Like a year ago. Just check this out.
I'm confused.
Just listen. I know, just listen. I'll explain it. Yeah, because I was like, what? Like, oh my God, what? So he was saying, do you want to be a part of this thing? Want me to tell you how? But it ended up turning out, it was all over social media, or at least locally it was. and it turned out to be a hoax. It was just it was like a gag to just confuse everybody.
Dude, that is so not cool.
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty let down. I was
Okay.
like, there's a chance that I can actually like somehow see like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly actually like acting. You know what I mean? And I got pretty excited. Like, I probably would not have gone to go see, but just knowing that, like, you know, it's Sacramento and there's people here in Sacramento that are actually famous, like, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, now I do actually have some movie news that I want to talk about.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is for, I guess you would call us millennials.
Yes.
I guess.
Unfortunately.
Except I'm not lazy and I work very hard to support my family. So
and
I'm not entitled.
I do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I think what they mean by millennials, honestly, is like 19-year-olds currently.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine. Because they were saying like millennials are like 35s and stuff. And I'm like, well, no. I don't know. Anyways, but for us, I guess millennials, you can really relate to this. Next year, 2017, Power Rangers live action is coming out.
Oh,
I mean, I guess it's always been live action. It's never been a cartoon, but they have a new film coming out, a reboot, another reboot about something, but it's the Power Rangers. But it's not the same concept. It's not like how the kids TV show was, where it's just like 5 people get sucked out of, you know, the Jamba Juice that they hang out at and get sent to a floating head in the middle of nowhere.
Zordon,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Do you know who's going to play Zordon?
God, do I want to know?
You want to know.
Who?
And you want to pray this doesn't ruin him.
Who?
I am the one who knocks.
Shut up.
Yep.
No.
Say my name.
You're kidding me. There's no freaking way.
Heisenberg.
Oh my God.
Walter White. Bryan Cranston. He's going to be Zordon.
What?
Hey, dude, he could make this movie.
Or break this, or be a part of a movie that's horrible.
Okay, well, that's going to be up to our viewers and listeners to listen to, because you thought Godzilla was amazing. I thought it was a big piece of poop.
I like that movie.
I know, I hated it. And a lot of the reason why I hated it is because Bryan Cranston was smacked all over the trailers of that Godzilla movie.
Yep.
And I went in there, spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it, he dies like instantly in the movie. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I came here kind of to see you and Godzilla. Like, you're the 2 stars, and you're not in it. Pissed me off. So
I agree with you, but at the same time, I like the movie for everything else that it is. But
yeah, that's for a different day. But yeah, Bryan Cranston's supposed to be Zordon. And I guess somewhere in the trailer, I didn't really know how to make the trailer. I didn't know how to understand it. It was kind of like confusing. I probably have to actually see the story go down in the actual film when I'm watching it to really fully get a grasp on it. But it looks pretty cool. Their uniforms look they're not just like leather uniforms that they wear. They're kind of like biomechanical.
okay.
And that's cool. It's you know, they're trying to make it current.
There's a movie trailer out for it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It looks pretty good.
Because I'll be honest, when I was a kid, Power Rangers was the thing. I remember Halloween. Halloween one year, I dressed up as the Blue Ranger.
I was red, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Jason.
I wanted to be the smart guy. I wanted to be the intelligent one, you know what I mean? The classy one. The one that's got the brains, you know?
Yeah, but I had the bronze.
Okay, well, you know.
And I got all the hot chicks
I was 6. You got Kimberly, and that was about it. So
she's the hottest.
Yeah, she was the one to get. But
anyways, this movie comes out 2017. I think it looks pretty good. It could be a complete freaking bombshell and just break the world.
Wouldn't it be awesome if it wasn't? If it was really good?
If it was really good, I mean, this could be a movie that talked about Power Rangers, because they made that like 17-minute short film on YouTube. You saw that, right?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's like rated R.
What?
Yeah, there's like murder, there's like blood, there's like...
Of Power Rangers?
Yeah.
What?
Please look it up. And anybody else who hasn't seen this, look it up on YouTube. Just type in Power Rangers short film. It's like 17 minutes. It's crazy. I wish they would have made that a movie. But
all right.
It's intense.
I want you to talk about the movie that we're doing next week, and we're getting rid of Halloween movies. We're getting rid of scary movies because Halloween and October is over. But before you do that, one more thing. I want to share... I just shared some movie news about Step Brothers 2. I just looked it up, actually, and it's not on the International Movie Database website. So that kind of leads me to believe that it's possible that it's not being made. So I don't want to lead people on and think that movie's being made for sure, because I didn't look it up before. I read it somewhere, and for some reason I thought it sounded legit to me. And I don't want to lead people the wrong way, so it may not be. I'm going to be completely upfront and be completely honest. I really hope that movie is being made. But Greg, please tell me, and I already know what we're doing next week, but I want you to tell our audience, what movie are we doing next week?
We're going to do Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool is just a grip ton of comedy. It's so fun. It's violent.
Yes.
It's gritty. It's
funny,
sexy.
hilarious.
It's funny. It's brutal. It's such a fun movie. And, honestly, I'm glad we got to do Halloween, but I'm not going to go back and touch another horror movie till next Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I'm over it. I don't want to talk about blood unless it's coming out of someone's back of the head because Deadpool is shooting 5 guys lined up. That's the kind of stuff I'm excited to get into next week with Deadpool. I got so much to say.
I love that movie.
It's so good. So, I'm very excited. And I got a lot of fun facts about that movie to talk about too. So
fantastic. I'm going to have to brush up a little. I've only seen it once. I saw it in theaters when it came out. I loved it. I'm going to go ahead and watch it maybe once or two more times before we do our next episode. And I'm super excited. I loved the movie. I love Ryan Reynolds. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And he's got a way about him. Like, I don't know. He's really fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait. So, anything else you want to say?
Yes. One more time, I want to remind everybody I've got a YouTube channel. It's called Being Scared. Please take a look if you're really into horror stuff. Even though Halloween in October is over, I will never be done with horror movies. Stories are my passion. They've always been. They always will be. Please check it out. Once again, it's called Being Scared on YouTube.
Do you have a Twitter?
Yes, I do have a Twitter as well. I'm not as popular on there, but it's at Being Scared number 86. At Being Scared 86 if you want to look me up on Twitter. I also have a Facebook at just Being Scared. I recommend just going to the YouTube channel if you'd like to check it out. I just uploaded actually a new Halloween episode, and I'm going to be much more active on there coming up. I've got a lot of ideas, a lot of collaborations coming up with other narrators. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please check it out. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, you can hit me up on the Yahoo at moviemen@yahoo.com. Email me there. You can also hit me up on Twitter at moviemen_. You can also hit me up on Instagram, and that's going to be moviemen_. Please go on there, like the pictures, comment. If you need to message us, get a hold of us, comments, anything you want to leave, be more than willing to do that. Okay?
And if you want to just tell us that we have the sexiest voices that you've ever heard in your life, then please just go ahead and do so. Don't be shy. Don't hold back. Just go ahead and say what's in your heart.
But I'm married and she'll hunt you down and murder you. Guy or gal, so.
Yes, and I only have eyes for my lady as well, so.
And me, but anyways.
It would still make us feel good. But
anyways, we're going to get into next week. Deadpool, very, very excited.
I would like to say goodbye. I'm going to leave the ending to Greg. Have a good night, everybody.
And have a good week.